Well, as you maybe read, this is going to be a demo session, so I have set this up so I'm joining this meeting with Teams web browser so I can show the demo in the Teams desktop client. And one problem with that is that I can't share my desktop and show my video at the same time. So instead, I have a picture here of me so that you can keep. You can take a print screen of that and keep it on your desktop if you want to see how it look like. So I'm Linus Cansby. I'm from Sweden. I'm a Microsoft MVP. I work as a consultant focused on Teams. I have a background from working with technical stuff with Skype for Business and Link and Office Communication Server and even the live communication server way back. And I have a podcast in Swedish called Teamspodden. I blog on link.se and you can find me on LinkedIn and Twitter if you want to reach out. I'm also one of the organizers of an event called Teamsdagen. It's a Swedish event that will be next Wednesday. If you understand Swedish, we have a lot of good content about Teams for you there. If you don't know Swedish, you have 1 week to learn it. It's not so hard, I would say. What we're going to talk to now, just the basics, calling in Teams. We can different to two different. You have the peer-to-peer calls, the Teams calls. We have the Skype calls you can call, and then we have the PSTN calls. And PSTN call is when you call out or get called from the public switched telephone network. Easy to say PSTN, and that is when you dial a regular phone number, and that's something that's possible in Teams. We have the PSTN network, and in Teams we have something called the phone system. And the phone system is like your PBX. It's where all the functionality is. But to be able to connect these two boxes, the PSTN network and the phone system, we need something there between. And then we have the something called calling plans. And that's a license you can buy from Microsoft, and then you get a phone number from Microsoft. This is available in some countries, like Sweden, since a couple of days back. But we also have another option called direct routing. And with this, you can set up something called a session border controller that connects to your carrier, or you can get this directly from the carrier. So now, this is the basics. So this is just a phone number into the phone system, and it routes the Teams user, and Teams user can dial out the PSTN. So that's the basics of what it is. And now let's jump over to show how it looks like for the end user. When you have enabled the user for calling, maybe by assigning a calling plan, they will go to this calls app in Teams, and they will see this dial pad. With the dial pad, they can dial different numbers. You can, of course, use your keyboard if you want to enter a number. You have a contact list. You have the here the speed dials with easy reachable contacts that you can call by clicking on the call here, the small phone icon. You have the contact list, and this is the same contacts as you have in Outlook. Should actually show it. Let's see. So if I open the calendar or the contacts in Outlook for the same user, you can see it's synced. So we have the same contacts in Teams and in Outlook. Oh. And we have some history. From here we can see all the calls. They are flagged if they are missed or incoming and outbound. And from here you also have some options. So maybe you can't, if you have a missed call, you don't want to call them back, you can start a chat if it's a Teams call or from a Teams user. And then we also have the voicemail. Here you get a list of all incoming voicemails into your voicemail. Same here, you have some actions. And if you click on one of these, you could get text to speech to text it is. So it tries to write what's said in the message, so maybe you don't have to listen to it. If you want to listen it, you can just play it. You can play it in different speed if you want to speed up if somebody talks very slow. You will also be able to see the calls here in the activity feed. But when you get this calling capabilities in Teams, maybe the first thing you want to do is go to settings and set some settings for the calls. And you can do it here in the calls tab. Here you have the options to either have the call ring your clients, or you can forward the calls to something external, voicemail, or to an external number. You can just type any number here and have it forwarded to an external phone, maybe your mobile. So all the calls that comes into your Teams number will be forwarded to this. You can also have simmering. So when you get a call to your Teams client, it will ring out to an external number at the same time. So then you have both your Teams client ringing and this external number, and you can choose where to answer it. You also have the options to select a contact or a call group. I will show the call group later. Then you have the option what to do if you can't answer. Then you can forward the call to voicemail, that's standard, but you can also forward the call to something external. So if you don't answer on your Teams client, you maybe want to forward the call to a colleague or a call group or maybe another number. And you can select here how long it should ring on your Teams client before it forwards to the forwarded selection here. Then voicemail. Nobody likes to come to the voicemail. I always hang up, but it's good for that it's there. Here you can create some more advanced settings. So you can select what should happen in your voicemail. Should they be able to leave a call or a message or not? Should they be able to leave a message and then be transferred to somewhere else? You can set the language if you don't like the default ones set here. And you can type in a text-to-speech greeting if you don't want to record your own greeting. And you can have different greetings based on your Outlook settings. So if you're out of office, you could have another greeting. If you want to record your own greeting, just press this button and it will hopefully, yeah, there it comes, dial to your voicemail, and you will get the option to record that message. Let's jump back to settings and check. You have some privacy settings. If you are in the do not disturb mode in Skype, you won't get any calls. But maybe you want your boss to be able to call you when you're in do not disturb. So then you can enter a name and they will be added to this priority access list. You can also add external number. So maybe if your wife or husband calls, you want them to be able to get through even if you're in Do Not Disturb. You can block calls with no caller ID. So if someone calls and don't present their number, you can block all those calls and you won't be bothered. You can also have a block list with numbers. So let's see how it looks like when I get a call. Call from iPhone. So now I'm in the Teams client and I get a call from an external number. So here I have the option to decline it. If I decline it, the call will go to the voicemail or whatever I have set in the unanswered settings. If I call again, I can answer the call, and it will open in a new window. Let's see here. So I can have this call window besides the Teams window. Here I have some options from the More Actions menu. So I can put a call on hold if I want to call somebody else and then come back to this call. I can resume it. I can transfer the call to someone. So I could transfer the call to a colleague. Oh, fun. Just hang up. That was not part of the demo. So I can transfer the call to someone. So if I select here a colleague, I can transfer the call to them. Then I have some options here. I can select this one, ring back, if there is no answer. So in this case, if Joni can't answer this call, it will be transferred back to me. I have also the option to transfer the call directly to the voicemail. So if I know, in this case, I can see that Joni is not active at the computer, so maybe she won't answer. So then I could transfer the call directly to voicemail. Let's try this one. Ring back if there is no answer and transfer. And Joni declined me the call, so it's coming back here, and then I have to take it again. Then I can either see if there is some other colleague available, or I can select the consult, then transfer. So let's try with Megan instead. She's available, but just to make sure, I can chat with her first. We don't want to wait for her to answer, so let's just transfer the call. Then she picked the call up there. So in the settings, show the call group. The call group is if you want some colleagues to answer your calls. So let's do this. We go to the setting, calls, and then also ring. And I will select call group. Here I can enter some colleagues. And I can select if it should be ring on all of them at the same time or in the order they are here. save this. So if I get a call now, it will also call on my colleagues, and they can pick up that call. So this is Megan. She also uses Teams. As you can see here, this window here is adults Teams calling, and here is also Megan. We don't want to use audio. Now it's picked up in Megan's client. We can also use delegates if we want somebody to handle our calls. To make it easy, delegates is not handled from the calls. Then we have to go to General and scroll down here a bit and manage delegates. A delegate, they can handle calls for you. So they will not only be able to answer calls for you, they will also be able to call as you. So I will add Joni as my delegate, and here I get some options to select different permissions. Make a call, receive a call, and change settings. And now she will get a message about this. And I will also do it the opposite way. I will take here, Megan. We're going to settings and select delegate, your delegate, and Adele. And now get a message that Megan added her as a delegate. And everybody that been working with Teams for a long time knows that this is really fast. It's not like a sign-in policy where you have to wait a couple of hours. This was instant. So what can I do now? If I dial a number here, I really hope it will. Shouldn't said it. This was fast, but okay. The idea is when I enter a number, I should be able to call here as Megan. Maybe I have to come back to that. Sometimes there are delays. But as okay, another interesting thing is, are you busy when you're in Teams? So if I dial somebody here, so I have an ongoing call. You can see here that I'm in a call, and then I hope that it's done to live demos. Okay, I had set to forward all calls to my delegates. That's why it didn't ring. So back to this. Now I'm active in a call. So then I get another call here. And actually, I can get more calls. So it can with multiple calls, and I can, okay, this one I don't know who it is, but this one I want to talk to. So I can select here what calls I want to take. And as you can see here, now I have 2 calls. The first one with Joni, that's on hold. And then I have one with Joanna. If I resume this with Joni, this second one will be on hold. There's a new feature coming that will allow you to merge calls. That's probably what you want to do here. Talk to both of them. So in at least it's listed currently for November. And then you will be able to merge calls. So that. Then we have something called call queues. That is, you have the PSTN number dialing to PBX, and then you want that number to be shared by multiple users. You can have it dialing them in a certain order, or you can have them dial them at the same time, so it's ringing on all the agents at the same time. Let's look how that looks like. So if I dial into a call queue here, I get some great music, and here I can see it's a call for this call queue. I can select to answer it or just decline it. If I decline it, it will start ringing on the next agent. Here you can see in another window, it starts to ring on that one. So it will continue until the call times out or until someone answers. We can also set this up in an attendant mode, so it will ring everybody at the same time. So if you have 5 agents signed in, all of them will get the call at the same time. And if we dial into one of those numbers, it looks similar, at least for this agent. You can see it's a call for this campaign. And if I answer it now from another agent, we will see here that it was answered by someone else. So then we'll get that information. So you could use this as a simple attendant solution maybe, or a more advanced call queue. Yeah, that was what I was planning to show for now. Let's see if we have any questions.